Alright guys, how's it going? Now before I get into this video, just a little reminder, I will be hosting live streams on here today at 1 PM UK and 7 PM UK. And then on Saturday, we're going to get absolutely... And then on Saturday, after the Merseyside derby is concluded, we're going to have our Cop Talk Christmas party from the afternoon right through until I fall out of my chair. Alright? Saturday afternoon. But it will be on our private server. It'll still be here on YouTube, you know, the chat and everything and the instructions how to connect. But it'll be like a Saturday night, you know what I mean? Because that way we can put our own music on. Well, we want to stop the cavalry on, don't we? Do you know what I'm saying? We don't want to get told off by YouTube. So 1 and 7 tonight. We'll be doing the streams throughout the week. And then Saturday afternoon is the Cop Talk Knees Up Christmas party. Do you know what I mean? Ho, 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 and all that. With a bit of luck, some of us might be able to empty our sacks. So, I've been out and bought the Spanish football dailies. There's nothing in them, basically. There is nothing to do with Trent Alexander-Arnold, nothing to do with Zubimendi, Kubo, Milli Vanilli, Mamadashvili, or anything like that. So you can log off now. I am going to talk about stuff that's in the Spanish dailies today to do with the Man City and Liverpool game, and maybe if you're interested as to what they've got to say about it, you can stick with me. But in terms of anything to do with Trent, Real Madrid, defensive reinforcements, no mention whatsoever. All right. So Real Madrid won at the weekend yesterday, I think, 2-0 against Getafe. And obviously now Real Madrid are back again and they're the most amazing club ever, do you know what I mean? After that meltdown with the Liverpool game. So nothing of sorry, I've just had something to eat. Which won't surprise you. Nothing of importance, but we are going to look at what's been said about the game yesterday. So one of the headlines was Pep falls to hell. Man City loses to a Liverpool that is now 11 points ahead in the Premier League. Liverpool far superior. The citizens now have 7 matches without a win. In brackets, it says 6 defeats. They are outside the Champions League places. It goes on about the match report. I don't think that you want the match report. I don't think you need that. So if we look at a summary of it, it says tactical superiority of Liverpool, Arne Slot's system. The article highlights how Arne Slot has transformed Liverpool's style to a more refined heavy metal approach. Now, we heard that under Jurgen, but today they called Jurgen's more of a rock and roll, and they're saying that this is heavy metal. This evolution reflects adaptability to modern football while maintaining Klopp's core principles of pressing and intensity. Dominance in possession and transitions. Liverpool controlled the tempo from the beginning, preventing City from getting into their rhythm. Their pressing disrupted City's build-up, evident from City's failure to create meaningful chances, especially in the first half. Talks about City, lack of depth and key absences, recurring defensive issues, conceding 2 or more goals in 7 matches, highlights defensive frailties, which is unusual for a Guardiola team. This exposes vulnerabilities when pressed aggressively. Psychological edge. Liverpool's rising momentum, winning 18 of 20 games, builds confidence and places Liverpool as clear Premier League favourites. This is not only about points, but also about the psychological blow dealt to rivals City and others. Talking about City, we're not interested in them. It says key individual performances. Now, I didn't see the game. As you know, I was on a flight back yesterday, much to my annoyance. So only you know if this is true. But from what you guys have told me on the live stream last night, and from what I've seen myself, I think it's probably right. But Van Dijk is singled out. His assist for Gakpo's goal underscores his importance in big matches. Give him the fucking money. Defensively, he also neutralised Haaland, showcasing his leadership and composure. Salah is also singled out for his influence, once again decisive. Salah's penalty goal and his ability to win the penalty highlight his role as Liverpool's talisman. Give him the... Right, so, broader implications for the Premier League. Liverpool's title credentials, 11-point lead over City. Liverpool now control their destiny. December is early, but maintaining this form will make them difficult to catch. City's top 4 struggles, being outside the Champions League spots, could have financial and reputational repercussions if their form doesn't improve. Shifting power dynamics. This article subtly suggests that the Premier League is transitioning back to Liverpool's dominance. That's interesting to hear. I like that. With Guardiola acknowledging their superiority. Talks about Guardiola's comments, downplaying the loss, protecting his players, praise for Liverpool's performance, but also hints at an acceptance that this might not be City's year. Arne Slot's impact, new managerial success, the comparison between Klopp's rock and roll and Slot's heavy metal suggests Slot has brought an upgrade in terms of tactical precision and balance. His immediate success with Liverpool points to his ability to implement changes quickly and effectively. And then there was another article that I saw about Pep Guardiola, which made me chuckle. And it was titled, "Everyone Wants to Get Rid of Me," and maybe they're right. And it says here, this is an article by someone called Rodrigo Vasquez. At Anfield, we saw the most unsettled version of Pep Guardiola. The fans mockingly sang that he would be sacked tomorrow, and the Catalan raised 6 fingers, referencing the Premier League titles he has won since arriving in England. A rare gesture from him. I bet he got plenty of 2 fingers back. Come on, he's getting to him, man. I like it. I know people talk about banter and all that. Come on, man. That weren't banter. He's fucking raging. At the end of the match, Pep spoke to the media about this incident. "I didn't expect this from Anfield. I understand it from clubs like Brighton." If I was a Brighton fan today, I'd be fucking raging at that statement, wouldn't you? "Why didn't they sing it when it was 1-0? Why did they wait until it was 2-0? Why didn't they do it last year? Maybe it's because they don't respect us for having won 6 Premier Leagues. It's part of the game and I understand it perfectly well." No, you don't understand it perfectly well. I can't speak for you, right? But I can speak for me. And I, like Manchester United, I can't stand Manchester United. I couldn't stand Sir Alex Ferguson. But I've always respected both, right? And maybe some of you don't like me saying that. But I'm a football fan, right? And I can't deny that Manchester United are a great, club, big club, famous club, right? I can't stand it. Do you know what I mean? But without your rivals, you'd have nothing and nothing to compete against, to rival. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you want to beat the best as well, don't you? You're like, "Oh, I hate Man United." Yeah, but imagine if they didn't exist. Like, what would that be like, for us? Do you know what I mean? So, and I can respect Sir Alex Ferguson, even though, like, when he was in the game, I couldn't stand the man. Do you know what I mean? But also, hating can also be a compliment, because when he left the game, I kind of missed him. Does that make sense? Same with Gary Neville, right? So Gary Neville, I actually despised that mother when he played for United, right? Despised him, couldn't stand the little rat, yeah? But I kind of miss him now he's not on the pitch to throw abuse at. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can't respect Manchester City. And I remember when I was a young lad growing up, Man City were on television and I was watching football with my uncle. I've told you about my uncle before, mad Leeds United fan. And I mean mad Leeds United fan, right? Back then. And Man City were on and I went, "Oh, look, Scum too." And he went, "No." He went, "Man City, they're not Scum." He went, "Man City's a good club," because he used to call, he's a Leeds fan, right? Man United Scum. And that's where I got it from. And being a young kid, like a young boy or whatever, I was like, "Oh, Scum too, look." And he was like, no, Man City are a respectful club and they've got good fans. And when you think of all the years that Manchester City were down the divisions, they had good fans, like Newcastle, loyal fans. But this, like Manchester City, I can't bring myself to respect them. Maybe because of the charges against them. They're only charges, well, you say charges, there's allegations, there's charges and there's convictions. And we don't know what's going to happen. And I don't know the facts, the evidence, I just don't know it. So as much as it pains me, I can't convict them. I know many of you already have. I can't. I'm right into all my trials. I watch trials, right? And attend trials when I'm in the US, for example. And I like to see the evidence for myself and pass judgment, all right? I don't just convict someone because someone says, yeah, we hate them, so they're guilty. They probably are, but because all of that's around it, I find Pep Guardiola quite smarmy. I've never liked him, I've got to be honest with you. Whereas Ferguson, I can respect Ferguson, and there's no doubting that Pep's a good manager, but is he a checkbook manager? You know what I mean? Is he good? Could he do those things at Liverpool, what he's achieved? Could he do that at Tottenham or even lower down the divisions? You know what I mean? Not lower down the table with smaller clubs or whatever. I don't mean to be disrespectful to anyone's team. I've just never really liked this whole buzz about Man City. And it's not out of envy or jealousy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I wish that we'd had maybe their finances over the years. But I wouldn't want Liverpool to ever be reckless. I wouldn't want that. And this is what a lot of top Reds come out with, don't they? Oh, you want us to spend 100 million? No, we don't at all. My problem with the ownership over the years has been when Jurgen wanted 25 million or something, and they still didn't give him that, or he had to sell first to buy. That's the bit that bothered me. But Man City, I just can't get on board with it, really. Like Newcastle, when they got their, new ownership, I was like, I hope it works out well for them. Not at our expense, but like, hey, them fans deserve it. Man City fans, like they've had all this success and they still can't fill a stadium and stuff like that. I always find that bizarre. There will be diehards amongst that, that were there prior to this, Wonga or whatever, foreign money or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with foreign. I mean, like overseas, non-football. Well, maybe they are football people when you compare them to FSG and the likes. But what I'm trying to say is Pep Guardiola's here saying that we don't respect them for having won 6 Premier Leagues. I'll respect anyone if you win them fair and square. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that? Like, if you have cheated, what's the point of cheating? It's like these wankers on video games. Sometimes you play a game and someone's cheating. It's like, well, you're only cheating yourself. I'm not having that from Pep, to be honest with you. I don't like it. Especially our fans. I think our fans are the most respectful. Well, is that just bias coming out? Maybe, I don't know. But our fans seem classy. Like Manchester United could win the fucking league at Anfield, in a game, and I don't know, maybe we would boo. But we've still got that, like, because we're a great club, because we've won everything, we still have that, like, yeah, well done. And it's the same if someone scores a worldie at Anfield. Even the opposition, well, it is the opposition. What I mean is a negative opposition. It's not like a club that you haven't got a problem with. Even if it's a club you can't stand and a player scores a worldie, I sat there with people and just, fucking fair play, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm not having that. I don't think it's that at all. I don't even see Man City as our rivals. I know that they're our Premier League rivals. But they're not a big deal. It's not a fixture I look round. I look forward to it this year, but annually I look forward to Everton and Man United. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm waffling on, but I just don't like what he's saying here about it's because they don't respect us for having won 6 titles. Get to fuck, man. I don't like him at all. He also recalled that this isn't the first time something similar has happened to him. He said all the stadiums want to throw me out, and seeing the recent results, maybe they're right. Oh, boo hoo hoo. Now, I was having a little conversation with my AI. I love my AI. It's like my best friend in the world. If you haven't got any friends, right? I mean, I have got friends, but this is my best friend after Smooth, right? Because we just sit and talk around, and we talk about all sorts of shit. Yesterday, waiting for my flight, I went, tell me something random about North Korea, like those are facts. Yeah, I love my friend's fucking great, my AI. And I said about being a checkbook manager, in fact, I said, is it fair to say that Guardiola is a checkbook manager? Therefore, he has only succeeded because he has huge financial resources at clubs he has managed. Would he be as successful at a club with limited funds? What do you think? And my assistant replied, the label of checkbook manager is often associated with Pep Guardiola because his greatest successes have come at clubs with significant financial resources, such as Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Man City. These clubs allowed him to sign world-class players and build teams that fit his specific footballing philosophy. And there's evidence, that suggests he is, the spending power. They talk about how much he's spent, over $1 billion since 2016 at City, it says here. Similarly, his tenure at Bayern and Barcelona was backed by strong financial capabilities. No success with underdog teams because he's never managed a club with limited resources. So it leaves unanswered the question of whether he could achieve similar success with a mid-tier or smaller club. Tactical adaptation requires resources. He's highly demanding and specific tactical systems, like the positional play he employs, often requires players of exceptional technical ability, and those players are typically expensive to acquire. But there is evidence against the checkbook manager label. Innovative tactics, player development, and dominance requires more than just money because they use comparisons of Manchester United and Chelsea. Would he succeed at a club with limited funds? I mean, we're going off here. Do you know what I mean? It was just me, just trying to do a bit of research on it all, really. And basically, the AI ended by saying, It would be fascinating to see Guardiola manage a smaller club or a national team where spending power is limited to truly test his adaptability and managerial genius. And then the AI said to me, do you think Guardiola would ever take on such a challenge? And I put, no, I don't think so. And I said, I think he needs wealth. I don't think he'd succeed at Liverpool, for example, which, I mean, I think he would be good at Liverpool, I guess. But not if there was another Manchester City that had them resources. Does that make sense? Like if Liverpool were the top club, which we obviously are, but how would he compete? Like Jurgen had to compete against Manchester City. All their money, their depth, in his squad, and also the possibility of them bending the rules a little bit. And I said, I don't think he'd succeed at Liverpool. And the AI said, that's a fair perspective, and many would agree with you. At a club like Liverpool, where financial resources are more constrained compared to the likes of Man City, his approach might face significant challenges. And it even goes on to list transfer policy under FSG, limited flexibility in squad building, mentality and adaptation, pressure without financial backing. And then it goes on to say why Liverpool has succeeded without a checkbook manager, smart recruitment, player development, emotional connection. Could Guardiola handle the challenge? And I'm just going to end on this subject here. And the AI came up with its own thought about it and said, you're right to suggest Guardiola would struggle at a club like Liverpool, at least under its current ownership and financial constraints. That's so funny. Success at Liverpool is built on efficiency, smart spending and team spirit, which contrasts with Guardiola's reliance on financial firepower. It talks about Klopp's, previous ability to outperform Guardiola with a fraction of the resources, which highlights the differences between the two managers. It's a debate that will likely linger, but Guardiola's unwillingness to take on a more financially constrained project reinforces the idea that his success is closely tied to wealth. I don't know, guys. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I'm not here to really dig it. I just don't like him, and saying things like, the Liverpool fans, maybe they don't respect what we've achieved. I honestly, I can't stand Manchester United, but I can respect Sir Alex Ferguson. I can respect what that club is. I really can. Anyway, enough of that. So, Sport, which is the Catalan newspaper, they were making him out to be more of a hero with the way he responded to the fans, which they obviously would do with it being a Catalan newspaper. They were like, oh, he shut them up, with the thing, like whatever. So overall, the coverage here today is Man City, collapsed. They were beaten at hell, they're in hell or whatever after yesterday at Liverpool's game at Anfield. Liverpool are storming away with it, outstanding. This is an ongoing thing with the coverage here that they're big in Liverpool up all the time, and rightly so. And for me, maybe you're only interested in what they're writing in the British media and stuff. But for me, I'm interested in what other journalists from other countries where they have a bias towards their own teams. But they're bigging Liverpool up, and I like that, and rightly deserved, I think, guys. Anyway, so moving on from that, Real Sociedad played at the weekend. Zubimendi did play. Let me see. They did play. Zubimendi played. It was a 2-0 victory for Real Sociedad, but apparently it was a very boring game. There was an own goal and a penalty converted by Mikel Oyarzabal. Now, I think I made a mistake on here last week. Dunk didn't know best last week. I think I referred to Oyarzabal being the captain while Zubimendi was out. I don't know why I said that, because I think what I said last week was, for some reason I had it in my head that Zubimendi, that's Remy, my rescue dog, that Zubimendi was the captain of Real Sociedad. Anyway, that's not the case. So he did play, did Zubimendi. He did have he did have a good game apparently. The ratings, I looked at the ratings, but he was subbed off after 55 minutes, etc., etc. Kubo was mentioned, but there was no detailed commentary on his performance in that match. That's a player that continues to be linked with Liverpool. And that's about it, I think, really, guys, for your paper review this morning. So I'll leave it with you. I doubt you've got anything to say really, but the Trent stuff's quiet. Real Madrid, no mention of defensive, panicking at the moment, or what they might do in January. But I'll keep an eye on it for you. All right, I'll go and do that tomorrow morning. Thanks to those of you that do, buy me a coffee or whatever. I went to the cafe today and I was reading the papers and I was just sat there in that environment and I thought, I like getting out in the morning, because normally, like I have done this for a long time, right? At the old Cop Talk gig since the 90s. And I've been quite isolated for many years. You work from home, a typical week, right? Before I was doing the papers, I would maybe cross the door once in a week. I'd just be at home in the office or in here where I stream or, do you know what I mean? In a typical week, I would only maybe go out once a week and, my girlfriend and family would be like, you need to get yourself out. I'm all right. I love the Cop Talk. I'm addicted to what I do. But the newspapers, it gets me out. It forces me out in the morning. Do you know what I mean? And I do think to myself, I think when I go to a cafe, I think, yeah, but I come here every day. Imagine how much money that is over the course of the month. I'd be better off not going. That's what I'm thinking to myself. But I really like going. And you guys, you do, you help me. You contribute. The super chat thing. What's it called? Super thanks thing. And it does enable me to go and get a couple of coffees in a month. I just had 2 coffees today. Do you know what I mean? It's like $3.80 or something like that. I don't even know how much it is. It's $3.60. It was $3.60 for two large coffees. That's right, $3.60. And it's just nice to get out. Do you know what I mean? So what I thought to myself when I was there was, I must mention it. I just wanted to say thank you again. Because you do buy me a coffee and you do contribute towards the newspapers that benefits a lot of people on this channel. You know what I mean? So thanks, guys. I didn't bring the papers back. If there's nothing to show. I mean, I could have shown you the coverage of the Man City Liverpool stuff, but I like to leave the newspapers for the workmen. If there's nothing that I really need to show you, it's just trying to be good. I tell you one thing as well. There's a little lady that comes round in the cafe every morning selling the little lottery tickets, a private lottery, Once it's called, Once, and it started off as a charity for the blind, but it's a charity lottery. And she comes around every day and she said to me today, do you want a ticket? And I said, yeah. I said, I've got some other tickets for you to check, when we've been away for the weekend. So she checked them and I won a £5. I think I won a £5. So she was like, oh, nice one. And I said, oh, thank you. So I bought a ticket for today and I gave her I had £2 that she gave me that was left. And I went, you'll get that. You'll get yourself a little dress. She was like, so grateful. Isn't it nice to make a difference to someone, whether it's leaving a newspaper, buying them a fucking drink or whatever? Isn't it nice to be nice? Do you know what I mean? So much more nice to be nice than fucking miserable and bitter. I like it. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that. I just felt really happy this morning. Anyway, thanks. I do appreciate the support you guys give me. I know all of you can, but some of you can, right? And what I mean by that is you could press the thumbs up on this video. That can cost you nothing. You could leave me a nice comment. You could be nice to people in the comment section as well. All right, guys, take it easy. Thumbs up, comment, coffee, nice one. Speak to you in a bit. 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock today, okay?